Iranian protester's body returned to family in exchange for his new car.
Here's a summary of the article.
Esmail's body was handed over to the family several days after the death, only after they gave his new car to the security forces. Esmail's mothers and 2 stepsisters lived in the city of Esteban, Fars province. He was a hard-working kid and had worked since he was very young. Just recently he had bought a new car, a model made by Iran Khodro. He hadn't even unwrapped the car yet. Esmail's friends said he was unable to walk after his waist was hit by several pellets shot from shotguns. His friends had a motorcycle. They put him on the back of the motorcycle to remove him from the scene, but the plainclothesmen showed no mercy. They followed the motorcycle in a car and hit the motorcycle with full force. Esmail fell from the motorcycle to the ground, but they still showed no mercy and started hitting him with batons. Then they called the emergency services and took Esmail to Rajai Hospital in Shiraz. Esmail's family were likewise prevented from visiting him until October 19, the source says, adding that the young man's spinal cord had been severed. Security forces pressured the family to say Esmail had died in an accident, otherwise they would not hand over his body. It was not a lie. Esmail had died in an accident of their making. The family stayed silent so that, perhaps, they would give them the body. But then they told them they had to pay 45 million tomans to cover the costs of the hospitalization. Esmail's family could not afford such a sum. A few days later they came for the car. They took Esmail's new car and handed over his body to his family. So, they took the body to the remote Behesht Ahmadi cemetery. They said only close relatives could attend the funeral and that they must stay silent and not chant slogans, otherwise they would take away the body and bury it themselves. So, Esmail was buried like stranger. Please be Esmail's voice.
This post received a score of 11,000, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Organized crime syndicate parading as a government.
In the name of God, no less. They are doing it for God. Don't forget that part. They are the Holy One doing God's work.
Greater than in the name of God, no less. They are doing it for God. I feel like this is how it's always worked. Politics and religion gravitate towards each other, but must be separated, because political corruption needs excuses to feed the public, and religion lets corrupt officials make up excuses from thin air. In turn, corrupt religious officials love money, and politics has essentially unlimited supplies of it. The vast majority of people who live in democratic lands have no idea how much blood and sacrifice it took to get religion out of politics. We live under secular law that is based on equal treatment and applicable to all. This is impossible if religion is allowed to have influence over the laws of the land. This is exactly what we can see in Islamic lands where politics and religion are mixed in the governance of the people. Archaic religious laws like blasphemy and the intolerance of human rights that challenge God's law. It's not so easy to get rid of political opponents with a different view when the law is written in the unbreakable constitution of the land. But unfortunately in places like Iran the laws of God, interpreted by the religious leaders, make it not only easy a divine right to do anything. In the secular world we can get rid of corrupt government people, in the Islamic republics they are there to stay.
Voltaire is such an OG.
No corruption in that theocracy? Yeah, you betcha.
As some religious person told me, doing bad things is not a problem because God forgives everything.
Isn't the whole point to ask for forgiveness and then to try and not repeat those bad things? Guess they forgot that last part. So they wouldn't return his body till they got his new car? I read that right? What the actual frigging hell has happened to humanity? Has it always been this way or have I just woken up from my own personal bubble?
They were forcing the family to pay some sort of fine to have the body returned to them. The only thing the family had to give was that car. Absurd because it was Iri security forces that killed him, wrongfully.
That's what I mean, they killed him then fine the family for it, seems insane.
Yeah, I hear stuff like this from messed up places and nope out of visiting, fucking magic kingdoms of mental gymnastics.
Greater than Esmail's friends said he was unable to walk after his waist was hit by several pellets shot from shotguns. His friends had a motorcycle. They put him on the back of the motorcycle to remove him from the scene, but the plainclothesmen showed no mercy. They followed the motorcycle in a car and hit the motorcycle with full force. Esmail fell from the motorcycle to the ground. But they still showed no mercy and started hitting him with batons. Then they called the emergency services and took Esmail to Rajai Hospital in Shiraz.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.